Frank stammered out the details of his discussion with Mars the night before, but he felt much more tongue-tied in front of Grandmother.
The gift of Polymensius. I think he was the son of Poseidon.
I mean, the son of Neptune. Frank spread his hands. The sea god. Grandmother nodded grudgingly. He was the grandson of Poseidon. Well, good enough. How did your brilliant intellect arrive at this fact?
Seal in Portland. He said something about my great-grandfather, Shenlun. The seal said he was blamed for the 1906 earthquake that destroyed San Francisco and the old location of Camp Jupiter.
Go on.
At camp they say a descendant of Neptune caused the disaster. Neptune is the god of earthquakes, but I don't think my great-grandfather actually did it. Causing earthquakes isn't our gift.
No, Grandmother agreed. But yes, he was blamed. He was so unpopular as a descendant of Neptune. He was unpopular because his gift, Rio, was much danger causing earthquakes. And he was unpopular because he was Chinese. A Chinese boy had never before claimed a bloody Roman. An ugly truth, but there is no denying it. He was a falsely accused, forced out in shame.
So if you didn't do anything wrong, why did you tell me to apologize for him?
Grandmother's cheeks flushed. Because apologizing for something you didn't do is better than dying for it. It wasn't for the camp to hold you blame. I did not know if the prejudice of Romans had eased. Frank swallowed down his breakfast. He'd been teased in school and on the street sometimes, but not that much. And never at Camp Jupiter. Nobody at camp, not once, had made fun of him for being Asian. Nobody cared about that. They only made fun of him because he was clumsy and slow. He couldn't imagine what it had been like for his great-grandfather, accused of destroying the entire camp, drummed out of the Legion for something he didn't do. And the real gift? Grandmother asked. Have you at least figured it out? He told his mother's old stories swirled in Frank's head, fighting like a swarm of bees. He was the greatest dragon of all. He remembered his mother appearing next to him in the backyard as if she'd flown from the attic. He remembered her coming out of the woods saying she'd given Mama Grizzly Bear directions.
You can be anything, Frank had said. That's what she always told me.
Grandmother huffed. Finally! A dim light goes off in that head of yours! Yes, Faizan, your mother was not simply boasting your self-esteem. She was telling you the literal truth.
But...
Another explosion rocked the house. Ceiling plaster fell like snow. Frank was so bewildered he barely noticed.
Anything?
Within reason, Grandmother said. Living things, it helps you know the creature well. It also helps if you're in life and death situation, such as combat. Why you look so surprised, Pai? You have always said you are not comfortable in your own body. We all feel that way. All of us with the blood of Pylos. That gift was given once to a mortal family. We are unique among all demigods. Poseidon must have been feeling especially generous when he blessed our ancestor, or especially spiteful. The god is often a proven curse. He did not save your mother. Outside, a cheer went up from the ogres. Someone shouted, Zing! Zing! You must go, silly boy, Grandmother said. Our time is up.
But I don't know how to use my power.
I can't. You can, Grandmother said, or you will not survive to realize your destiny. I don't like this prophecy of 7 that Mars told me about. 7 is an unlucky number in Chinese, a ghost number. But there's nothing we can do about that. Now go. Tomorrow is the Feast of Fortuna. You have no time to waste. Don't worry about me. I will die in my own time, in my own way. I have no intention of being devoured by those ridiculous ogres. Go! Frank turned at the door. He felt like his heart was beating and squeezed through a juicer, but he finally bowed formally.
Thank you, Grandmother, he said. I will make you proud.
She muttered something under her breath. Frank almost thought she had said, You have. He stared at her, dumbfounded, but her expression immediately soured. Stop giving, boy! Go shower and dress! Comb your hair! My last image of you, you show me messy hair? He patted down his hair and bowed again. His last image of Grandmother was her glaring out the window, as if thinking about the terrible scolding she'd give the ogres when they invaded her home.